Joining us now, I guess, of houseofstrauss.com, Ethan Sherwood-Strauss. Ethan, back in the day, would cover the Golden State Warriors for ESPN, and then started his own Substack, which you can subscribe to there. You also get his podcast, which I've been on several times. So welcome to the show, Ethan.
I'm so happy to be here, guys. Thanks so much.
What's up, Ethan? You know, Ethan, over the last couple of years, the fact that we are having you on to discuss the 49ers must be exciting to you, as football Ethan has really evolved over the last couple of years. That is a fact, right?
That is certainly a fact, and it's also a fact that people in this area tend to want to talk Warriors with me. A team right now I find depressing. I don't like to watch, but that's what I used to cover, and there's a lot of Warriors fandom. All I want to talk about is Niners. All I want to talk about is football. All anybody considers me an authority on, right or wrong, is the basketball team. So, yes, excited to be here for this topic.
Well, in the WIP Afternoon Show, you are a 49ers authority, Ethan, so you have made it. So would you say at this point, the 49ers, given the injury situation, is this playoffs in general sort of a house money situation for the 49ers, or is it something more?
It certainly feels that way. Anybody out here who knows a thing or two about the team is not going into this matchup with confidence. Everybody seems to be braced for the end of the season. And it's just such a contrast how the football team is dealt with out here versus where you guys are. If you guys lose, is Sirianni's job on the line? I don't know. He just won a Super Bowl, but it feels that pressurized. With the Niners, if you win enough games, and we didn't expect you to, they're just going to throw a parade, great season, and it does feel like a house money situation, in part because they had injuries, in part because they won so much, but also just because the culture doesn't demand as much and isn't as critical out here as it is out there.
Was there a point this season, at any point this season, that you said to yourself, the 49ers are really good? Was there like a stretch of time where you thought, okay, they have it this year?
Yeah, when they beat the Browns in that bad weather, and it looked like if they did that, they were locked into the playoffs, and there was a path. There was a sense of, oh, it's starting to happen. It's coming together. Shanahan teams do this thing in the good years where down the stretch of a season, they really coalesce as other teams fall off, and they take that momentum into the playoffs. And so there was a sense it was building to something. This actually might unexpectedly be the year, despite everything else. And then you had that Seahawks matchup where it almost felt as though they could steal a Super Bowl without being all that good, because they are frauds. Let's be clear about it. The Niners are frauds, but this is a season where everybody's kind of a fraud. So if everybody's a fraud, then maybe nobody's a fraud. That's how it felt, where if they could get home field advantage, if they could get a bye week, it was plausible. And then that, of course, went all away last Saturday. And we're where we're at, where everybody is just braced for the gallows.
We mentioned that a little earlier this week about the residual effect of that loss last Saturday night, just sort of being a damper or a cloud over the team. Does it feel like that with the team? I know what you're saying with the fan base, but I'm wondering from the players' perspective, what's sort of their messaging been like coming out this week? Do they feel like they have a chance to win this game?
They're saying all the right things, and they haven't lost back-to-back games this season. And so it's nice they're saying the right things. The problem is the personnel. We play up the injuries, but it's not just Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. They're pulling linebackers off the street, man, to actually play real snaps in this game. They are heavily depleted, and I'm still not sure who's literally showing up to this game. I don't have much faith in the offense if it's going to be like last week and there's no Trent Williams or Ricky Pearsall, and I've got no assurance whether those guys are going to be in this game. So as much as they've made chicken salad over chicken, we're on the radio, but you get my drift, there's a point at which it's too many injuries, and it's looking like it's at that point. If they don't have Trent, if they don't have Pearsall, I just can't see them producing enough points, but we'll see.
Yeah, you sort of answered that question there as far as the offense, because prior to the Seahawks game, they were, for a stretch of a few games there, looked like the best offense in the NFL, right? I mean, they were really clicking. Yeah. So I guess your answer there, sort of, the question was going to be, which offense is it? Is it what we saw Saturday, or is it what we saw the few games before? But I guess your conclusion would be, if Williams and Pearsall isn't there, it's maybe not 3 points, but it's more of the offense we saw Saturday.
Yeah, it's almost like they've got it on both sides. I'm trying to schematically explain it and prove my football bona fides. Will probably fail, but they're slow. I think it's underrated how slow they are. They've been an awesome offense when they have enough guys this season, but man, are they slow. Christian McCaffrey at this stage for his position is slow. Jennings, it's like a 50-50 ball, and it's impressive how he fights and he somehow snatches it a lot of the time, but he's slow. And if there's no Pearsall, he's their number one receiving threat. So if that guy's not there, it's almost more important than maybe some of the bigger names, like a Kittle being absent, if Pearsall's not there. And then Trent Williams, they have done such little work in bolstering the offensive line that they have a literal career practice squad guy replacing superstar legendary left tackle Trent Williams in Austin Pleasant. And so it's not just a drop-off from losing Trent Williams, it's also what's behind him is not somebody who's competent, with apologies to him. I'm sure he's trying hard. So those two right there might be more crucial than some of the other guys they've been missing, just given the lack of depth at those positions.
Talking to Ethan Sherwood-Strauss from houseofstrauss.com. You can sign up for his Substack and his podcast there. Just to go over the defense for a moment, you know, it's funny when you watch it from here or nationally, there's a lot of credit given to Robert Saleh out of what he's gotten out of the defense considering the injuries. Then you look at the rank of the defense and they don't seem like they're just very good at all. So I guess my question is, do you think Saleh's doing a good job? And is there anything on that defense that, from an Eagles perspective, that we should be worried about?
Oh, my God. I'm going back to the chicken S analogy. It's a funny thing watching him get interviews, watching him get praised as the Niners went 12-5, because I feel as though he's getting credit for making chicken S out of chicken S. Like, I don't blame him for the defense being bad, considering the losses they've suffered. But the defense has also been bad. So I don't know what we're doing in crediting him. The reason they've won these games is largely because of the offense and the special teams, and that they've gotten lucky on special teams. There's this stat called hidden points that they chart at DVOA, and the Niners have a historic hidden points margin. That's you just get lucky because the other team misses field goals, or they have terrible kickoffs and it's a bad depth of kickoff. They've got an additional 30 points off of this, whereas last year they were negative 13. So just dumb luck that fell from the sky. Special teams getting better, offense getting better. Defense has been horrible. I don't have much to tell you to worry about. I think the cornerbacks are good. I think Lenore and Renardo Green are good. But, God, they've got to cover a lot for a lot of time because, as I'm sure you guys know, they're last in sacks, last in pressures, and the linebackers are just totally depleted. It's not a good defense, and it's also not getting credited for being especially creative with the depleted personnel they have. So I just think they're holding on for dear life. It might have been better if this game was on a different day and you got some of that Philly inclement weather, as crazy as that sounds for a West Coast team, just because the defense requires some assistance.
Well, you can tell you certainly aren't a homer.
No. Ethan's not a homer. Ethan's not. I actually, I have to, when I'm talking to Ethan, I have to be, well, Christian McCaffrey's still pretty good. I mean,
I wanted to give some positive things to say about the Niners. I'm like, wow.
No,
I'm not a homer. I'm a Brock Purdy apologist. He is. He's going to come out.
Yeah, he is. Well, Ethan has Northeast in his blood, so he hates his team just like we all hate our teams. Yeah. Final question, Ethan. We have now asked Brian Baldinger. We've asked Shil Kapadia. I will ask you as well. If you were starting a franchise tomorrow, you're the first thing that you can place in that franchise is a quarterback head coach combo, and the quarterback head coach combo is Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, or Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Which one would you pick?
I go Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy. And it's not something I hesitate on. And I say it with trepidation because I'm not sure this upcoming game is going to be the best advertisement for my decision. But yes, that's the decision I make.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, all right, Ethan. Well, thanks as always. Congratulations on your probably your first 49ers radio appearance.
Oh, yeah.
I would say there it is. You did a great job.
Hopefully, reverse jinx them. I
I figured that's where you were kind of going for.
They're horrible. They'll never win. And then I'll get a text from him at halftime on Sunday. All right, Ethan. Thank you as always,
all right,
brother.
take care, man.
Thanks, guys.
There he is, Ethan Sherwood Strauss. You can sign up for Substack, houseofstrauss.com, the podcast as well. Ethan's, just so you know, Ethan's writing and podcast, it is about sports, but also about sports business and culture and all that stuff. So,
man, they aren't feeling very confident out there.
They're not.
Are they trying to set us up?
I think they're trying to set themselves up.
Okay.
I think what they're doing is the fan preservation of. Look,
low expectations.
Low expectations. If they win, it's great.
Right.
But we really don't think we can win this football team. Right. Yeah, win this football game. Yada yada.